What's going on, guys? I am Kevin. This is
I'm
Bob.
Bob.
Yes. Sorry, Bob. I didn't really steal your thunder there.
No, no, steal away.
And we are here to review Saturday Night. I actually saw this movie almost 2 months ago, but I wanted to wait for Bob because Bob is a very big SNL fan. And I thought this would be a great review to talk about, because he knows the history of everything. So this is the review of Saturday Night.
Saturday night.
They want you to fail. We just have to make it to air.
Am I still in the show? Jesus Christ. Sorry, tripped over my...
All right. So this movie is about the beginning of the first episode of Saturday Night Live. This goes from, how can I put it, a couple hours up until the very moment. You get to watch this as young Lorne Michaels finds his way through how to adjust a television show that is live action that has never been done before, and watch every intricate detail he has to put into place in order to make his dream become reality. All in the meantime, you have people behind him doubting him whether or not he knows what he's doing, doubting the actors. He's doubting his idea in general. So you, along with Lauren, are watching this amazing train ride through what seems like an eternity to find out if his dream comes true at the end. Kev, what did you think about it?
Beautifully stated. I love it. Good plot. I like this movie. I saw it twice. I saw it opening weekend, and a few weeks ago, my friends wanted to check it out, so they downloaded a copy of it, and I watched it again. And I'll talk about what I saw more the second time, but overall, it's a fun movie. It's a great time. It's 90 minutes. It's not too long. It's not too short. I think it was the perfect length. The performances were incredible. I thought the guy who played Chevy Chase was great. I thought the guy who played Dan Aykroyd was great, especially Lorne Michaels and Gabriel LeBreau, who played the young Steven Spielberg in The Fabelmans. I thought he did a hell of a job. He didn't do impersonation, but he kind of basically embodied what it would be like. This is everything. This is what your career has been working towards. And in 90 minutes, you're going to see whether everything you worked for is going to blow up in your face or it's just going to propel you to more success. And obviously, the show's going on its 50th year, and it worked. And I thought the camera movements and the cinematography was great. I thought it was very funny at points. The recreations were really good. And yeah, what did you like about it, Bob?
Honestly, you're hitting all the right nails here. To watch something that I have grown to love and watch the beginning of the first episode of an actual episode that I have seen, not in real time, not that old, but to see the, how can I put it, the brainchild that became it into everything, because I've seen that first episode so many times. I'm a huge Andy Kaufman fan, so watching even him appear randomly, spoiler, just these different things was great. They gave just enough of everyone's personality for you to kind of congeal. There are some people that obviously were led by the way, but I got to be honest, the kid who played Chevy Chase was great. He had this likable sense of, like, you liked him, you weren't sure about him, then you saw him just be this arrogant prick, which apparently is Chevy Chase. Dan Aykroyd has this consistency. Gilda Radner is this glue of all of these crazy things around her. And also J.K. Simmons as Milton Berle was fantastic.
Yeah, I loved the comeback. Sorry, I apologize for the younger viewers, but I think the favorite comeback is when he's battling Chevy verbally, and he's like, "If you want my comeback, you're gonna have to scrape it off your mother's teeth." I like, oh my god, that is a sick burn.
And the thing about it is, Uncle Milty pulled out the fabulous member that is this notarized thing in old Hollywood where Milton Berle is the most well-endowed man in the world.
Yes,
And
I've
so
heard.
that's
Yeah,
why they had that thing where he would just do that at times. And it was just like, yeah, that's just who I am. Like,
yeah.
right on. And J.K. Simmons is amazing as anybody. So you could have him play anyone. I'm going to watch it. But I liked his brief moment in it. Now, Kev, being a New Yorker, did you, and you've probably been around that space quite a few times, did you feel like they really got the atmosphere for a show
Yes.
night feel?
Yes. I thought this movie projected the anxiety, the doubt of putting on a first show, especially something as huge as Saturday Night Live. They got the very even not a lot of the movie takes place outside. There are a few movie places outside, Specifically, I loved the feel of the comedy club when Lorne Michaels, spoiler alert, basically is stressed out and he goes to a comedy club down the street. And Alan Sweebell, like I don't know if anyone knows that name. He wrote the movie North with Elijah Wood.
The Elijah Wood.
Yes, and he's a comedy writer. I That scene with him and Brad Garrett, I love that scene. I thought it was incredible. I thought the kid from No Hard Feelings was incredible as like kind of like the straight laced suit. And when he smokes marijuana, he kind of freaks out. His name is Andrew Mark Feldman, and I thought he was very good. I like that guy. Personally, out of the SNL cast, my personal favorite was probably I love Dylan O'Brien as Dan Aykroyd. The laugh was on spot on. The laugh was, and I didn't know Dan Aykroyd was such a ladies' man.
You know, come on, you see Ghostbusters, even the ghost went there. Like he was calling them in all over the place. No, yeah, you're right. The guy who nailed Dan Aykroyd down, like we said earlier, Gilda Radner, I would have loved to have seen more, but I think if we would even got this much, we would have all wanted more anyway. So I think showing her there's the compassion part of her talking with John is ice skating around before he signs his contract. Then you got her just having fun on one of the cameras. Like they showed this young side of someone that we lost way too soon. And you got to see this like rambunctious side of a girl that we've only seen on one side of the camera. So I really enjoyed that part of the movie as well.
Yeah, the actress's name is Ella Hunt, and I thought, yes, she did a hell of a job as Gilda Radner. Hats off to her. And
Yeah,
I also like Cooper Hoffman, who I don't know if you guys know, but is the son of the late and great Philip Seymour Hoffman. He plays the executive, I believe, who is the
yeah.
boss. Lauren Michaels, I thought he was great. I know we're singling out people, but I don't want to take away that the entire cast was. This movie was perfectly cast. I loved every performance in this movie.
Very much so. I also like the fact because as years have gone on, Lorne Michaels has become this real calm, cool, collected. He breathes real deep when he talks. And for this to show Lorne in the very beginning, fast paced, eyes big, always darting somewhere else, and the method behind the madness, I felt was kind of cool because we've all known him as this. Every time I hear anyone talk about him, he always sighs. So, like to see free sigh, Lorne Michaels.
Did you ever see the Conan bit where Bill Hader was being interviewed by him and
Oh,
he's
he
like,
talks about the name dropping right before.
he's like, oh yeah, well, he was talking about Pennywise the clown. He's like, his name is Pennywise, and oh Pennywise, he's a great guy. He's just minute or something. Like, it's a hilarious. Like, if you guys want to see that, type in Conan Bill Hader, Lorne Michaels, fantastic impression. I loved it. I also liked Matthew Rhys, I think his name is. He played George Carlin. He's from The Americans.
I almost forgot that it had a host in the first one. You know what I mean? Because there was so much stuff going on there. There was a host, and obviously the fears. No, he did really well. Also, obviously this isn't verbatim what happened that day. However, from what I was reading, because as soon as I was done watching it, I was online looking up everything to see, and a lot of this is day of stuff. I mean, the brick part was kind of as well. So I was like, oh, it gave a new, how can I put it? It gave me more of a reason to love a show that I've loved all 43 years on this planet.
Hell yeah, man. I love it too. And I think we were talking about we're going to do an SNL thing maybe, right?
Yeah. I think a best of or this year in recap would be kind of cool.
Capturing, not every episode, maybe like every few will come on like, oh, what'd you think of the March lineup? But I also appreciate this movie was directed in they filmed this back in February, and just the amount of blocking, stage movement. There's a lot of times in this film where it is a one-shot sequence, like Goodfellas or any like Birdman. And I thought Jason Reitman, who directed this movie, was incredible. The direction was so fast-paced. It kept you interested. I was never bored in the 90 minutes. And the only discredit I give this movie is I wish there was more. I think we were discussing before we came on that the actress who plays Jane Curtin and Lorraine Newman, you kind of you get a very shallow characterization of those two characters. And I said to you that I think this should have been a 5-part series, maybe 4. But I wish this was more expanded. I think it's a little shallow at points, but either way, I had a great time watching this film.
If they gave us more, we would continually want more. And I think, like you said, a series 4 or 5 part would be nice. You could get more of who was out there writing. The fact that a young Billy Crystal was out there fighting for 4 minutes, just how formative this show has been for so many people out there, so many comedians, so many actual just regular writers. I mean, Conan went from there to The Simpsons. So, I mean, it's a big place, man.
Yeah, I thought William Dafoe was good too.
Which was a surprise cameo.
Yes.
Even though he had a part, like, I wasn't expecting Willem Dafoe out of all people to be there.
Yeah. And I'm if you've watched the podcast, I'm a very big fan of Rachel Sennett, who played Rosie Schuster. I thought she was very good here too. With the what name am I going to put up on the screen when the credits roll? But she did the most, which she gave. It was a lot better than I Used to Be Funny. I don't know if you've seen that, Bob, but that was a thing that she was in recently, and I did not like that at all. This was a nice step up.
I like that you heard the introduction voice every once and again when they were walking by. You're just like, all right, like, again, it's just little hints of home, a little smell of the cookie from grandma's thing, just something that brings you back to that time. Also, as movie fans, we all stay after the credits. This is the coolest credit scene I have ever seen in my life. As a fan of SNL in general, it was fantastic. They gave the first sketch to us, you know what I mean? Like reenacted the first sketch with the very first Live from New York at Saturday night. I got goosebumps. Just because you got to watch. I don't know. Again, I'm fangirling on this.
One thing I really noticed on the second rewatch was the power of the music. The soundtrack.
Oh yeah, you were saying the score.
Yeah, the score was incredible in this movie. It added to the anxiety that you were talking about, to the stakes. I don't know. It just elevated everything. And I forgot the guy's name. He plays the band member in this movie. God, what's his name? John Baptiste. And he played Billy Preston. He also did the soundtrack, and I thought he did a hell of a job with the soundtrack. I'm
looking at more of the thing now. Jim Henson. A lot of people don't remember Jim Henson was supposed to be there Saturday night. And I'm saying Nicholas Braun nailed Jim Henson. He didn't have to be on it that much, but the way he interacted was so extremely Jim Henson. He looked like him. He sounded like him to a moment. You're just like even just this brief moment of this film, and this kid freaking nails it. And I was like, ah.
And he also played Kaufman.
Did he also play Kaufman?
Oh, yeah, he double rolled, yes.
Oh, now I'm looking. Oh, yeah. So I like Kaufman. And also, I don't know if they did this on purpose. Obviously, Andy Kaufman loved to mess with people. So in that, I don't know if he showed up to Saturday night in character because he was known to just be funny. Yeah. So I don't know if he showed up as in character with his record box or not, but still one of the best things about the first episode of Saturday Night was Andy Kaufman's Mighty Mouse thing. It's still one of my favorite things in the world was watching him reenact. So again, watching this, showing just, it felt like a slideshow of stuff, I can't rave about it more.
And just a little trivia for you and our audience is that Ben Safdie, right?
Ben Safdie.
Yes. He directed Uncut Gems. He was Teller in Oppenheimer, the guy with the deep voice. Yeah. He was originally supposed to play Andy Kaufman, but something happened, and then they had to basically upgrade Nicholas Braun to play 2 roles. I would have liked to seen Ben Safdie's interpretation of Andy Kaufman because he's able to change his voice. In Oppenheimer, he had a very deep, commanding voice. But then I seen him in something else, and his voice is nowhere near that deep. So I was like, oh, could he actually do?
Would he actually do
a good impersonation of Andy Kaufman? Because if Jason Reitman chose him amongst all these other people who are doing hell of impressions of these people, how good was his performance?
Yeah, and I would love that. I really would. And every time we do that, though, I'm always afraid that we're going to start getting more into another character movie. You know what I mean? Like, Jim Carrey can have that Andy Kaufman role, and I'll go with that. I want like now that we have this, I would love to see them kind of develop more a little like we were saying, like a show would have been a lot. It'd been cool to have. You can't capture this again though.
No, it was well done. And in the end, I'm gonna give this a very, very strong 4 out of 5 Andy Kaufman hairpieces.
I'm going 4.5 out of 5. I
Four and a
thought this
half.
movie was damn near perfect.
Yeah.
Even when they have the outside shots of 30 Rockefeller, like everything they're doing, you could almost smell it. You hear like Reitman has the best, how can I put it? Had the best way of doing this that I didn't know we needed. I was laughing. It felt like this was a episode of West Wing where everyone's walking and the whole frame's going and everything's going behind it. Again, yes, 4.5, 4.5. Lauren Michaels slowly receding back hairlines.
All right, guys. What did you think? Do you agree with Bob and I? It was 4.5, me and the 4. Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Let us know, Cinema Fellas. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Come by, stop by the site. We always are doing podcasts. And yeah, thanks for watching. And this is Cinema Fellas. I am Kevin Mower, and this is
Bob Ward.
And as we say on the podcast, cheers.
Cheers.